Hey everyone! Welcome back to some more Let's Play Vampire the Masquerade-Bloodlines. In the last episode, we slashed some paintings, completing the task that Jeanette had for us. We then did a bit of running around, as Therese Warman was rather unhappy with what we did because those paintings were part of her event. Jeanette had tricked us. We were able to return the pendant to her, though, which got us on her good side again. And she sent us down to talk to her sister at the diner across from the asylum. But instead of her sister, we were ambushed by a group of thugs, who I think were hired by probably actually Therese Warman, not Jeanette. We discovered that Therese had Jeanette at gunpoint and went back to the asylum to see if we could save Jeanette. And we discovered that Jeanette and Therese Warman are one and the same person. We were able to talk to the girls. She had a split personality. And we were able to convince them to work together. After which, we then got the werewolf blood from a curio. And we're staring at 11 experience points to spend. I've been agonizing over what to spend it on, and I think I've made up my mind. But first, before we do that, I have a new house rule for us, everyone. Our equipment. So, the enemies we have been fighting so far, the thugs and the thugs. I guess it's a bot, but it's mostly been the thugs so far. They're armed with a ranged weapon and a melee weapon. And it occurs to me that as we play through this game, I think that we will be encountering and holding on to quite a few of these weapons. And I don't think that we should be allowed to have a pocket dimension where we store all of this equipment. We're wearing jeans. We've got on like a cool looking red shirt for us in the background there. But we don't have like a giant backpack. And we wouldn't be able to walk around with like a shotgun, a hand axe, a sword, a dagger, and 15 different like submachine guns or a flamethrower, whatever else we're going to get in this game. So, here's another house rule for us. We are allowed to carry on us 2 small weapons and 2 large weapons, and that's it. If I'm forced to pick up another weapon during an area of the game, fine, we pick it up. But then I have to drop another weapon if I can. Alternatively, we don't use any other weapons in that area. I'm going to go with we have to make a choice and preferably only have, like, I'm not going to pick up a bunch of weapons I don't intend to use and sell them at trips. Nope. We're only going to be allowed to carry, I'm hoping, 2 small weapons and 2 large weapons. So, to that end, we have a dagger, which is a small weapon I'm going with, the shin gun 2, and the fire axe. And these are large weapons. Like that's what's going through my mind. We have a pistol, which is a small weapon, and a shotgun, which is a large one. We haven't even read about the Ithaca M37 yet, so we'll read about that in a few seconds. In any case, we have too many. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to leave some of these behind. So the fire axe, we're staying behind. And we're going to leave... I'm tempted to leave the Ithaca behind, because it requires a range combat of 5. And my range combat is only 3 at this moment. And I don't think we'll have 5 anytime soon. So, we'll just store that here at the moment. Okay, that gives us room for one other large weapon when we're out there. And let's go ahead and get out there. This is a restriction that you don't really... I'm pretty sure you're allowed to carry as many weapons, like 1 of each type of weapon, and then up until your maximum amount of ammo for them. So we're going to try this out and see if we can get, not away with it, but how much of a pain it is for me to use this as another house rule. We also, by the way, still have the werewolf blood. We're told to leave it here. So let's do so. Okay, and now let's get out there. Alright, everyone. Nice! Nice. Masquerade Redemption. So, we don't really benefit from the Masquerade Redemption because we don't have any Masquerade violations. and you don't get rewarded more for not having broken the Masquerade at all. So it's arguably it's a waste to turn in that werewolf blood at that point, but it did give us some experience points getting the blood. Well, Tim, what you just said is still accurate. We could have held on to it, but I'm imagining that the prince will have some form of monetary compensation for us in addition to the the Masquerade redemption. So, and I could use the money because I'm trying not to run around and grab all the weapons and sell all the weapons, right? So, we're going to need the money more than other vampires would here in Los Angeles, given the way I'm playing. Alright, so let's go back to talking about some more thematic things. So we are on the way now to visit Bertram Tongue. He is the Nosferatu, as Nox has told us. And he is probably aware of who we are. The Nosferatu like keeping their ears to the ground and grabbing any tidbits of information that they can trade with the other vampire clans for favors, if I recall correctly. And so he is likely to have already heard of us. He might have also contacted Nox while we were doing the blood work for the prince. And so we should probably expect him to say hello and not be surprised to see us. Oh, we haven't spent the experience points yet, by the way, everyone. So I'm going to explain what's going on through my head. Okay, well... Okay, how can I do this? So... I have this strange compulsion, everyone, whenever it comes to playing a character in a video game. And that is that I like getting the things done with the characters, like leveling them, getting things out of the way that I feel I need to take before I take the things that I want to take, if that makes any sense. In my case, let me see if I can give you an example. Oh, and Bertram Tongue's waiting right in there, but I'm going to do a little bit of talking with you guys first before we talk with him. So, around the house, on the weekends, before I sit back, kick up my feet and relax, and begin working on my Heroes Quest game, or begin recording video games, or going outside hiking and walking around, or having friends over and stuff like that, I make sure that my chores are done first. The house gets cleaned if it's dirty. I do laundry. If the yard needs to get mowed, I get that done. I trim my hedges. Trash gets sorted. Maybe I clean the shelves in one of my rooms, or do a little bit of organizing. I sweep the floor in the kitchen and in the bathroom, and so on. Scrub the tub down if there's any mold growing in there. I like getting all that stuff done, because once that stuff is done, the rest of my weekend can be dedicated to just entertainment, or as much of it as I think I can get away with. I view leveling in a game like this as in the same fashion. And I view leveling my strength to get a melee of 5 as a requirement, a chore. While it is fun also to run around with our weapon, knowing we can use it without any penalties, this is also something once I level it here, I'm done leveling it. I can wipe my hands and say, we're done with that, all done, no more points need to go into strength. I view a stamina of 2, a perception of 2, and a wits of 2 in that same fashion. They're all chores that I want to get done, and then I can focus on the things I want to focus on. Our seduction, our ranged combat, our appearance, and probably a more lockpick, and my disciplines at that point. And that's why I really want to level my strength 1 point. But having a lockpicking of 4 when where we're about to go, and it's thinking of 5, will be really handy. We will be really glad to have those levels. So here's what I'm thinking we're going to do. We will talk to Bertram Tongue, and then I will come back out here and explain to you why I'm going to level dexterity instead of strength. And then I will save the game, and we will attempt the warehouse. I'm going to give myself probably 2 reloads while we're in there in order to try to stealth through it, for reasons I'll explain to you after we're done talking with Bertram Tongue. And then we'll try it. And if after 2 reloads it's not going well, I'll reload the game, I'll put points in melee, and we'll go through the game that way instead. Or rather, through the warehouse that way instead. Alright, so let's first talk with Bertram. Hey, Bertram. How you doing, sir?
Look who finally made it. Thought you'd never find me, huh?
Been a long time since I've seen your beautiful face, sir. Nasty dude indeed. I like your coat. You know I was looking for you, huh?
I've gotten good at knowing when I am wanted.
I suppose it helps that I've told Nox several times that I'm looking for you. You are Bertram Tongue, right?
The one and only. But don't bother with the introductions, fledgling. I know who you are.
You do?
News travels down the kindred grapevine like wildfire. And that courtroom spat between LaCroix and Nines Rodriguez is a juicy little morsel. And you in the middle. How interesting.
That's great. So you know I survived.
Oh, you did you? Well, I wasn't worried. So why did you need to find me? What did you need?
I need to get to that warehouse for Mercurio. You know Mercurio?
Oh, never mind. The warehouse, though. I've been watching the place. The Sabbat has a bunch of low-life humans working day and night to move stuff through there. There's some major staging going on.
Okay, everyone. So I already know about the Sabbat, but I think it's entertaining for all of us to listen to as much lore as possible from the NPCs we meet. So if I think a conversation topic will not end the conversation and we can get away with asking it, we will do that. So let's ask about the Sabbat. The Sabbat?
The Sabbat. Jeez, you are green. It's like this. We're all monsters, like it or not. I'm not gonna say the Sabbat are the evil vampires, because none of us are the good guys here. But the Sabbat, they glorify their monstrous nature. They refuse to hide it, and go out of their way to show it. They're also brainless and reckless. They have a life expectancy of a vampire fruit fly.
The only thing I remember about the Sabbat from my LARPing days are there are 2 types. I can't pronounce the first one, but I'm gonna try anyway. Zimitri? That's wrong. I can't pronounce it, but they're the flesh crafters of the Sabbat. They can make horrific creatures out of melding bone and flesh. And then there's the La Sombra, which control shadows and can use darkness to great effect. I don't remember any of the other Sabbat clans. Should I only expect to encounter humans there?
As far as I can tell, the humans seem to know the score from the way they've been talking. I think most of them have aspirations of joining the next graduating class of shovelheads. Ugh, losers.
So they know they're working for vampires.
Yeah, the Sabbat like everyone to know just who they're dealing with. So if you get in there and have to bust a few heads, don't feel bad. Think of it as upholding the masquerade.
Can you get me in there without being detected?
Yes, I can. Just tell me when you're ready, and we'll leave. Once you're there, however, you're on your own. You'll have to get into the place and plant the explosives in the middle office to take the whole structure down.
Oh, that's interesting. The game's giving me a chance to go out and make sure I've done everything. Let me get a few things together first.
Alright, I guess. Come back when you're ready to go. But don't be too long, fledgling. This isn't really something we planned around your schedule.
Whatever. I'll be right back. Alright, everyone, so let me explain something. I just want to talk with my viewers, by the way, Bertram. I'll be right back. I'm streaming. And this didn't exist back in 2004, but it's all the rage right now. You wouldn't understand. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about the warehouse. At certain points in this game, we will be in an area that is separate from the hub we are in. For example, the Oceanside Hotel. Some of these areas are combat areas, and we'll have quite a few enemies in it. Or, I suppose we could say that if we're discovered, hostilities begin. If you can get through these areas without being detected, you will get extra experience points at the end of that area. I've never done it without subterfuge, so I that right? Am I saying the right word there? No, I'm saying the wrong word. Without the ability to go invisible. I've only played Malkavians and a Nosferatu prior. So, without the ability to cloak myself, I don't know how difficult this is going to be. We do have a 4 sneak and a 3 lockpick, so if we raise our dex 1 more point, I think that will be really handy in getting through this area with stealth. But I don't know how possible that's going to be. So here's what I'm thinking we're going to do. When we get to that area, I'll save the game, we'll level our dexterity, and we'll see if we can get through that area stealthily. If I'm detected, I will give myself 2 reloads. And if I'm still detected after that second reload, I will make the call at that point if we're reloading and starting the whole area from scratch, and I just drop stealth and say this isn't working. Or we keep going. We got as far as we did, and we'll just say, okay, we were detected, that's it. Game on, we kill what we have to, get the task done, get out of there. So with that out of the way, you guys know why I'm going to level this first, at least, when we get over to the warehouse, and we'll see how that works. And if it doesn't pan out, maybe we'll reload, we'll put the points in strength instead, and we'll just kill what we need to and get the task done. And again, I'll give myself 2 reloads for this area. So let's start with a quick save here, and let's get started.
You ready to go?
Not yet.
You ready to go?
Do I not talk to you, Bertram? I don't use your computer for something, right? Oh! I'm not ready to go. Because we don't have the Astrolite with me. Fat luck blowing up the warehouse. Like, I'm not gonna have any luck doing that without the explosives. Why don't I cut this really quick, everyone? I'll be right back, and we'll be in front of Bertram. I have to go back and get the explosives. You guys are probably judging me for getting the Astrolite inside our house. All right, well, let's not talk about that, and instead we'll talk to Bertram Tongue about getting over to the warehouse and getting this task completed.
You ready to go?
I'll have some questions for you when I get back. Let's go. Unbelievable. I'm a professional. Alright, everyone. So here we are at the warehouse. Oh, I don't remember this music. I hope this isn't copyrighted. Alright, so let me go ahead and talk about how this is going to work. And I'll talk about what I remember. And then we'll be good to go. So first off, let's go ahead and make that save. So if I end up getting detected 2 times, I'm going to give myself 2 quick reloads in here. I will reload this save, put the points instead of dex, put it into strength, take a point in lockpicks instead. Or, I'm sorry, we'll put it into strength, take a point in security, and then we'll go through this that way instead. But right now, we will increase our dex 1 point. And I'll hold on to this for experience points. Maybe we'll drop it into Auspex if we earn more experience points while we're doing this. Now, what do I remember about this place? Because I want to be candid with you folks. I know... Wait, where's the music? The music just stopped altogether? Okay, whatever. That's really unnerving. I know that when we walk up here, there's going to be a thug who is going to, I think, be using the bathroom. And we'll ignore him. And I think there's a hole in the wall in the next room. And then there's a bunch of trains. We have to go into some trains. There's not trains. Cargo cars, freight cars. I will have to go into a few of them to avoid some patrols. And I remember that there'll be guards by the windows, and we can get seen while we're near them. And that's all I know. Without obfuscate... Oh, that's it. Without obfuscate. Obfuscate's the ability that lets you go invisible, not subterfuge. Without obfuscate, I don't know how feasible it will be for us to get in there and out without being detected. But let's go ahead and get started. And if I don't have any music when we enter this area, I'm going to reload the game and hope I can get the music back. Nice. Some free bullets. I think there's a ring somewhere in this area, but I don't know where it's located, or it's like an envelope of money. But I don't know where it is. Okay. Well, I'm not going to feed on the bum. Well, that's not beneath me. I'd rather not drain any blood from him. Poor guy.
What the fuck is going on here tonight? Marcus is all in everyone's face and shit.
Didn't you hear? A new shipment came in. Some pretty serious hardware.
Yeah, I heard. But what the fuck? We get that kind of shit in here all the time. What's so different about tonight?
I don't know. Marcus is tense as a motherfucker. Maybe he heard something.
Like what?
Like, I don't know, but keep your fucking eyes open. And someone better tell those clowns in the freight house to quit playing cards before Marcus comes out and starts peeling fucking caps. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, that's super awkward for us. So they're on edge tonight for some reason. Their leader, Marcus, is super paranoid about something happening tonight. And he'd be correct. We're happening tonight. I seem to remember some of the guards, like, changing their patrol route as you get close to them. And I don't see a way for us to get over this at all. Maybe these guards move away when we get close to them? I don't think they do. No. Okay, well then we're not supposed to go this way. Can we talk with this guy? No, I can't. Okay. There's a can here for us to throw. I guess if you want to distract the guards, but I don't think we'll need to do that. Ah, there is a guard on the other side of the door. So it's a good thing we came out that hole in the wall rather than take the main entrance. And can I get back that way? Yes. Okay. I need to plan my return trip. Because we're going to be, once we place that astrolite, everyone, we're going to be on a timer. We're going to have maybe 4 or 3 minutes to get out of here. And if we're not back there by the time the timer runs out, we will die. The explosive is powerful enough to level a lot of this area. So far, so good. My stealth number isn't going up, so I don't think there's anyone on the other side of this door. A difficulty of 4 lock. We put a point in dex to get our lock picking to 4, so far, I really like this.
You gonna bet or what? Shit, relax, Holmes. I'm in.
Yo, Marcus is getting all crazy on people tonight, right? What the fuck? Something going down tonight. He knows something we don't.
I know you best keep your voice down, Holmes. Marcus don't play that shit.
What shit? I'm just asking a question.
That's the shit he don't play.
Look, both of you just shut up and play your fucking cards. Where the hell's Junior?
He's inside watching the steps. I guess Marcus kind of scared of him, you know?
Shit, I guess Junior's smarter than he looks.
So we learned there's someone up ahead here watching some steps. Oh, I'm lucky it wasn't these steps. I wasn't even paying attention. Can we maybe get around him by going over the fence? Oh! Nope, that's the end of the world. We're not going that way. Okay. This is the music I remember for this area. I hope this isn't copyright claimed. I'm gonna be so pissed off. Those must be the steps that are being watched. Oh, okay. We go through this freight car. So there's Marcus. I don't see any doors on the other side of him, so that is just a landing. Okay, they gave us a can to throw here. Black lager. And we have another guy here. So we have okay, crap. So let's look at this, everyone, because we need to think. It's easy enough for me to take that and throw it anywhere, but I need to sneak back through this area when we're done planting the astrolite, and I'll be on a timer. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to sneak in front of him on the way back. Guards will go back to their normal patrol after not detecting you for a bit, or after being distracted. Here's what I think we do. We take this can and we throw it that way, so we'll be able to pick up the can and bring it with us when we move forward, and be able to use it on our return trip. And we'll throw it.
Huh? Huh?
Okay, we weren't detected, but that can didn't go anywhere near as close as I was hoping it would go out in that direction. In fact, it's in a really bad spot. So we'll have to hope we get another can. Or I don't know how we're sneaking past these guys on the return trip. I don't have anything I can throw. That's a shame. I could have maybe thrown it over that box over here for me. Okay, I think I know what we can do. So, sorry, everyone, I need to plan this carefully because our return trip also needs to be completely stealthed. So, if I can get over here and he's there, I can probably do this. Oh, wow. No, I can't. I'm not going to have much time at all to get around this guy. Then I'd like to eliminate him now so I don't have to worry about him going forward. I don't know if I'll be able to get close enough to do this. I don't think we were detected. The music didn't change to the combat music. I want to make sure, so we're going to stay here and watch this other guy briefly. I don't know if celerity actually affects me while I'm stealthing, so that might have been a waste, but I think it probably did help. And now if I walk up, how detected am I? Not at all. Perfect. Can we get in here? Difficulty of 6. We can get in there. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Oh, that's blood heal Tim, not blood buff. Some shotgun shells. And some more rounds for our pistol. And a shotgun as well now. 5 rounds in it to start. That's interesting. So we'll sell this one when we get back to trips after all. But this was not where we wanted to be. Okay. Kind of a waste of blood, to be quite honest. We'll, if I'm allowed to, we'll stop by the club and we'll feed on another patron there. Hello? Oh, okay. Yep, he's using the restroom. We're going to make a break for it. We're just going to go.
It's still nasty. What about sex? Don't tell me I gotta give up hitting it, because my cousin's got her friend staying at my house and she...
Man, how do you expect me to know? Not like it falls off, right?
What?
You never use it anymore.
That's messed up.
Just keep your eyes open. We screw this shit up, get some nice, sexy ass goodbye. What's the bad guys? They said they'd kill us and our families if we left.
I never agreed to.
Look, just shut up and shoot anybody who ain't supposed to be here.
Well, we're going to blow it for them. So I hope. And hopefully without being detected. More shotgun shells. As long as that guard's not moving, you might as well search this place as well. What is... These look like artillery shells or anti-tank rounds. Lots of weapons. We're gonna try... I think we're gonna fail here. We're gonna try our first sneak past someone. It's gonna be this guy. I'd like to do it when he's looking to the left. Oh my god, that's... I think he wanted to do a patrol, but changed his mind and is still gonna just stare at that lift. A generator, and I cannot do anything to the generator. I don't think I can destroy the generator. It'd be nice to have the lights turned off, but that would also maybe alert them something suspicious is happening. I think my detection is going up because there's people above me at this moment. I remember the upstairs area being really tricky to get into, and obfuscate was really handy getting me in that area. But we don't have obfuscate, and complaining about it isn't going to give me that ability. Oh, I should have looked around a little more when I was by the generator. I did not do so. There's a door down there. We can maybe reach it if we hop over here. And there's a ladder on that far side. I think the two people we heard talking are on the other side of this door. They might be close enough that our auspex... Oh, wow. So look at our detection. It's not moving when this guy's walking, which means that it's going up to 100 because of our proximity to other people. So I can tell, even without using auspex, that there's someone directly on the other side of this door. Oh, and there's someone by that ladder. And on the other side of that door, so it's a good thing we didn't open that door. We would have been seen immediately. Well, this is working out really well. Let's open this up. Uh-oh. So that guy standing there is going to make this tricky. I don't know if he does patrols, but we might not be able to get past him. I can't walk onto this landing because the guys in the windows will see me do that. And there's no place to go anyway over there. Oh, isn't there? I think there's a way to get into some vents somewhere, and I completely missed it. Well, it's too late now. He's just standing there. So let's... He's not moving. He's not turning. We're gonna try this, everyone.
What was that? Anything missing from that last shipment?
I forgot to look, but I'll do it tonight.
What can I pay you guys for? This is the big score, so do your goddamn job right or I'll bury you in the desert and find someone who can.
Okay, we're gonna reload. So, some guy over there on the left-hand side saw me walk, or heard me walk in.
anything missing from that last shipment?
Wow. So we walk in there, and the water
What can I pay
tank.
you guys for? This is the big score, so do your goddamn job right or I'll bury you in the desert and find someone who can.
Won't happen again. Swear I'll check the shipment tonight.
Order a pizza? Order a pizza? Where are they gonna deliver it, numbnuts? 13 abandoned warehouse full of kill-on-site hopheads way?
I could pick it up.
No. No one's going anywhere while we're sitting on this shit.
There's no vending machine or nothing.
How about I put a bullet in your gut? That fill you up? Huh, you goddamn Mongo-looking bastard?
No, boss. No, I ain't hungry.
We ain't eating all night, so, boss. He didn't mean anything by it.
What'd I just say?
Hey, sorry, boss. And I said it.
That guy's really got to go. I'm really glad he's drinking a whole lot out of that. Oh crap! Forget him of the cups, but the plastic cup. And I am really glad we killed this guy. I don't think Celerity level 2 really does a whole lot for us. But it looks like we might do it. 2 minutes left. 1/3 of the time is already over, everyone. We don't have much time left.
Who's there?
Okay, we weren't detected. Half the time's gone. Sorry, I'm not doing a whole lot of talking right now because I'm nervous. But I think we managed to do it.
The warehouse. Your handiwork, I presume?
Quite an entrance. Hey! Yeah. Are you a werewolf?
Not experienced much in the creatures of the night, are you? For future reference, you might keep in mind that werewolves aren't in the habit of introducing themselves.
Well, who are you, and why have you been following me? We saw a wolf earlier, remember? On the cliff face, by the dock, by the pier.
I see my reputation, for once, does not precede me. My name is Beckett. I haven't been following you, per se. We've just coincidentally been at the same places at the same time, for different reasons. So sorry if I unnerved you.
I forgot all about
Tell
Beckett.
me, have you by chance seen or felt anything strange since your embrace?
I saw a ghost at a local hotel.
A ghost? Quite ordinary. I generally pay wraiths no mind. All but a few are willing to give up their secrets.
I met some kindred on the beach that didn't seem like kindred.
Thin bloods. They're a fascination of mine. They are considered a weaker, more human-like kindred. Hence the name, Thin Blood. But they are sired same as any of us. I've heard a large concentration of them live in this city. They're one of the reasons I'm in Los Angeles.
I'm not going to mention Therese and Jeanette Vorman. Other than that, I really haven't seen anything extraordinary.
Most of my contacts here report sensing something unusual in the night air, like a sense of dread or pressure. But I'm not a native to these parts, so I can't tell if it's irregular. And since you're still fresh, perhaps you're not attuned to it. Pleasure meeting your acquaintance, but there are rumblings for me to discredit. We shall, I'm certain, meet again. Or never again. Good night, young one, and be careful. You're very likely being hunted by the Sabbat.
Night, Beckett. That went really well. All right. We got 4 experience points for that. I thought we would earn more for some reason. But maybe the 2 experience we earned after we placed the astrolite was our stealth experience. So 6 total is left over. That's enough to raise celerity to level 3, which I'm really tempted to do. We will notice celerity a lot more with a 3rd rank in it. But I also really want that. 1 more rank for that melee combat 5. Why don't we save the game here? Because we did it. And we'll talk to Bertram Tongue. And then, I guess, do recover some blood? Assuming that we're not leaving Santa Monica right now. So let's see what Bertram Tongue has to talk to us about, and if we can learn any more lore from him about what's going on in Santa Monica.
Nice work, fledgling. I felt that explosion a mile away. It's all over the news, too. Man, there's gonna be some pissed off Sabbat just howling for blood tonight.
Thanks. Do you know someone named Beckett?
Beckett? Well, I know of him. Why?
I spoke with him.
No kidding. Huh. Must be something major happening if he's in town. Beckett is a historian of sorts. He's unearthed more vampire lore than anyone. Well, that's all Beckett does. Seek the truth behind our condition.
Bertram, I have some serious questions for you.
What do you need?
I met your ghoul, Nox.
I know you did. Sharp kid. Can track like a bloodhound. I watched him work for a while before I approached him. I had no idea how eager he would be to help.
You knew I did.
I knew you would. I had him watching you-know-who for me. It was inevitable you'd pass through her joint. I told him to keep an eye out for you, gave him lines to feed you, the whole bit.
Sure didn't seem like he was expecting me.
Come on, fledgling, don't ever think you're ahead of the ball in this game. No matter what action you take, some kindred you never even met already foresaw it and found a way to profit from it.
Yeah, so the whole Asian vampire thing, I'm pretty sure if you have more points in like scholarship or intelligence, you can figure out that Nox is actually trying to trick you into doing that job for Bertram Tongue. But we didn't have the score that we needed. All right. Peace, Bertram. I'll talk with you later.
You better get back downtown. Prince LaCroix's gonna want to hear all about this victory.
On my way. We'll come back and talk with Bertram later. I think he'll still be hanging out here. We can talk to him more about Therese Vorman and Jeanette then. It'll give me an excuse to talk to him again. I suppose we can also go and talk with Nox right now. We are going to go into the asylum and look to get some of our blood back. I don't want to feed on any of the poor bums. Yeah, alright, so that went really well. Holy crap. 2 experience points for the Astrolite, 4 experience for completing the mission. I think it's... I don't know how the experience is broken up if you're not stealthing it. So maybe I'm wrong, and you get, like, the full experience points, 6 experience points for completing the task anyway. But I'm pretty sure that's not the way it worked. And there now is our ride to Chapter 2. But we'll come back and take that in the next episode, everyone. So I have another dilemma, because I'm back up to 10 experience points again. And I still want to level my strength 1 point. Alright, so... let's talk with the girl up here. Oh, not this one. Oh. I know you're with somebody. Holy crap, girl, I want to get up the staircase. Yep. Actually, we'll talk with Nox first, since he's right here. Hey, Nox. Hello, miss. 1 second. Your lips. No, I'm not interested in biting you. It looks like her lips have a little bit of blood on her right cheek, as if she is supposed to be a vampire or dressed up like one.
Hey, what's up, man?
Nothing special.
Oh man, thanks again for your help.
I can't talk with Nox about meeting Bertram Tongue. Alright, so this is a girl I think we can also feed on. Hello, miss.
Sheesh, is this place always so dead?
I'm here now, so the party has officially started.
Really? And what are you bringing to the party, huh? Got anything I can't get out in Arizona? Everyone at this place is so straight edge.
Drugs? Pfft, I don't need drugs, but I can share my ecstasy with you.
Now you've got me curious.
Come here. I'll show you why I killed the cat.
It's a long time until sunrise. Wanna come play with me?
Oh, yes. All night long. Look at that smirk. Love it. What the heck, girl? Wait your turn. One more. That's it. Thank you. Yeah, she's jealous. She wanted it. She can just sit there and want it. Alright, so not bad. Good for us. Now, I don't think these girls refilled their blood, so we're not going to get any more from the asylum.
What?
I said we're not going to get any more from the asylum. Alright, and what else is there for us to do? Okay, so let's go back to Trip and we'll sell this shotgun that we have. Until I get a guns skill of 5, I won't be using it. And I think when we... I think when we sell the shotgun to Trip, I think we sell the rounds in the shotgun also. There's no way to unload the shotgun either, for that matter. That was a Sabat down that passage, so we are expected, apparently. That's interesting. I don't remember there being Sabat hanging around Santa Monica proper after the warehouse is destroyed. And they wouldn't have any clue that I did it because no one saw me do it. But maybe when I was busy talking, with Beckett, someone noticed me. If we could sneak up to him, I'm pretty sure we could drain him of his blood. But there is someone who walks down that little passageway, and I'd be worried that he would see us do it, like a normal human. Alright, so let's sell this shotgun to Trip, and then everyone, I think, will call it a session. Been playing for about an hour. This was really successful. I'm so glad, also, that we rose our dex 1 point, and we were able to do that sneakily. I do think our increased stealth helped us. I don't know if we would have gotten past the windows without a stealth of 5. Hey, Trip.
Thanks for coming back. What you need?
I need to sell something.
All right, here's what we got today.
So we'll sell you this. $8. $8 for a shotgun? $8? I mean, I know why they did it. Because the modders or designers of the game don't want you to run around and pick up every single shotgun, bring it back here and sell it. But the fact it's worth $8 might contribute to everyone doing exactly that. I don't know. I think we just sell this, after all, for $8. There you go. And it's $153 to buy it back from them. Take care, Trip. You have a hard bargain, sir. We have a shotgun still on our home, so we can get $8 for basically nothing. Now, I think if you fight all the thugs inside the warehouse, you can get quite a few more rounds. They use shotguns, knives, baseball bats, and pistols. I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else you can get there, like a Glock or something like that. Those will be in Chapter 2. I guess while we're here, we can see if we got anything from LaCroix. I suspect it's been left in our mailbox. And it's been a few hours, so it would make sense that we would have gotten something at this point. And we did. $150. A wad of money left lying around. Funny, that. Nice. Thank you, LaCroix. Glad to be of service. $150, though. It's not worth... That's not a whole lot. All things considered. Oh, but then again, we're not paying for room and board. We don't need to pay for food. We're not paying any bills. That money is ours to spend however we wish. Okay. So I guess everyone, I'm done. Actually, let's check our laptop really quick first. We have 2 new mails. Let's see what these are for. Nicely done. From LaCroix. Your assistance was much appreciated in regards to the werewolf blood. Please find your payment in the mailbox, if you haven't already done so. Sebastian LaCroix. Let's delete that. The first move. Probably from the same person that sent us a favor. From a friend. The White King moves to protect his pawn. If we're the pawn, who was the White King? LaCroix? I don't know if that's accurate. I suppose we could also delete the information about Kilpatrick's computer, because we're not going to need that again. Alright, so we'll stop here, everyone, and I will now append the part where I read the comments on the last video to this one. It's going to be about an hour of that, by the way, just a heads up, everyone, so I hope you like listening to me talk in case you want to hang around and listen to that. Otherwise, if you don't care about that, thank you for watching what you did, and I will see you in the next video. Otherwise, hold on, give me a few seconds. Ah, yes. The sounds of a nice, quiet home in the city. Next to the highway. Hello, everyone. Alright, we're back in our apartment. And unlike the other times I have done this, I'm recording this part before I actually record this episode. At this time, I have not spent the experience points. As you can see, my stats have not been upgraded yet. I have not yet talked to Bertram Tung, and we have not gone and fought or tried to sneak past the thugs that are guarding what we need to detonate with the astrolite. So in any case, hey everyone. Alright, so let's go ahead and get busy with your comments. We got quite a few of them to cover. Actually, I'm sorry, I don't have very many of them. I have just 4 at this moment. But one in particular from Methadron is a rather long comment, and I would like to read all of it. So let's get started. So we're going to start, however, with the other people first, Methadron, because their comments are a bit shorter, and we'll end with yours at this moment. But if I get more comments on my video before this part goes up, there will be more to this video besides ending with Methadron's, because I'll add them to the end of this one. All right, let's get started. The Knight That Say Nay says, "Wow, I did not see that twist coming. Even though there were hints of there being only one bed and that you never saw the two together. Amazing writing." Yep. Knight That Say Nay is talking about when Therese and Jeanette Vorman were revealed to be the same person, and it was a split personality that they had. I thought that was incredible. That was so well done, and the voice actress did a great job making them sound a little different from each other. The way that they spoke, and like Jeanette's flirtatious voice compared to Therese's very businesslike attitude. I thought it was extremely well done. Keep the vids coming. I plan on it, sir. I can't wait long enough for them. even to the point that I want to selfishly suggest that the comment reading happens every other video for faster videos. Right, so this is always the problem with being a YouTuber, is that on one hand, I want to upload videos regularly. I prefer to get one of these up every other day, but looks like it's going to be like one every 3 days or so for Vampire the Masquerade-Bloodlines. On that same note, though, well, I really like the interaction with you guys and being able to speak to your comments and dwell on them when I am playing through the next part. This is especially helpful if I'm thinking about like the lore or different aspects of this world and how it should impact our character as we play them. And I also like it because it does slow me down. And so otherwise, I would already have like probably 30 videos backlogged. And so if you guys were leaving comments on my videos at that point, I wouldn't be able to talk about them. And I wouldn't probably even remember what I had done 30 hours ago when I was playing this game. So I do like being held back a little bit here. What else do we have? But yes, I understand that very much. This is why for some videos I do have quite a backlog, right? Like when I was playing Felsier Arbiter's Mark, even Underrail, I just got through the last of my Underrail backlog. I've got nothing else, so I need to actually start recording that. So I'll probably go crazy and begin recording more Underrail so I can keep uploading videos for that series. Like that say Nay then says, as for point allocation, I'd say either Subterfuge or Wits to further the angle of this character. So, I have a big problem convincing myself to level Seduction to 6 right at this moment. And that is that I know what's coming up. We have, I think, 2 stages coming up. If I remember correctly. Might only be 1, but I'm pretty sure we're going to do 2. Maybe I'm wrong. But in any case, there's going to be a lot of combat and or sneaking which occurs in them. And so I don't want to put points into seduction quite yet. I also have this compulsion, which I'll talk about when we read Bruno's comment about what I want to level next. And it might not make a whole lot of sense as to what I'm going on about, but I'll do my best to explain it. But really quick, so for Subterfuge, yes, I do intend to eventually get our seduction up to 8. I would like it to be 6 by the time we reach downtown, which is chapter 2, and then I would like it to be 8 by the time we reach Hollywood, which will be chapter 3. And right now it is 5. So that means we're probably putting at least 2 more points into Subterfuge, and then probably 1 more into Appearance, and at that point we're done. At least that's the current plan, but I'm going to space that over quite a length of time. All right, what else have you said? Is that it? Oh, as for Wits, I wasn't really intending Lotaeri to be really great at hacking. I was probably going to level it to 2 Wits for 1 more point in combat defense and a hacking 4, but then I would probably rely on my Auspex whenever I would need my Wits leveled beyond that. 2 extra points. We'll probably level Auspex to rank 3 or 4 before the end of the game. Yeah, but I view Lotaeri more as like an artist than maybe a writer or something like that, rather than some guy who was a computer hacker or computer programmer. I realized that the endgame really likes you having lots of points in Wits because high-level hacking is really super useful. But it wasn't going to be something I was planning on with this character. But we'll see. I might change my mind about that. Bum number 1 says, if you want to get the bare minimum of the Fire Axe or Shingunto, and you're short 1 point, in other words, we have a 4 melee instead of a 5 melee, I would invest in Strength rather than melee, because Strength gives +1 brawl which you can use to feed on unwilling victims. I personally recommend you spend the points in Dexterity, because of +1 to sneak and +1 to lockpicking. So let's cover this really quick. Yep, so indeed, if I was going to... So I want a melee of 5, so that I can use our Shingunto or Fire Axe without any penalty. Right now, we're actually suffering a slight penalty to the damage of these weapons, because we don't meet the melee combat requirement. And if I want that melee requirement met, we can either put 1 point in our melee skill to give us a melee combat of 5 for 6 points, or we can increase our strength by increase our strength 1, which will give us a 5 melee combat for 8 points. So that's I'm sorry, 6 points to raise our melee. So that's 2 more experience, but we also increase our unarmed combat by 1. I think I was mentioning during the video that the higher the melee skill you have, the easier time you have in feeding on someone during combat. We haven't been able to do so at this moment because our melee is only 2, so people can shrug us off, like, you know, they push us away. But the higher our melee, the more likely we can succeed at that. We could probably use blood buff when our melee is 3 to give us +2 more melee, and then feed on someone to drain them of all the blood, recover what we use for blood buff, and keep draining their blood. Right, but button number 1 is suggesting that we instead raise our dex again. Nothing else, lockpicking is super useful going forward, and we will want the lockpicking of, I think, like 7 by the end of the game. If we have a lockpicking of 7, we can use blood buff to give us lockpicking of 9, and I think there's an item in the game which will level our lockpicking by +1 more. I think we get it in Hollywood. I can't remember. But a 7 will be like all we really need, at which point we can rely on our other skills or items to get us further than that. But getting it early is also helpful. Lockpicking of 4 before we go and use the Astrolite and talk to Bertram Tongue. That'll get us through a few areas, maybe avoid a few enemies that we would otherwise have to kill. And thinking of 5 is useful. That's obviously half max, and would maybe let us sneak through those zones. There's a good reason why we would want to sneak through and not kill anything, and I'll talk about it. I think I would have already talked about it at the beginning of this video, so I won't repeat myself at this point, because I probably will. Bundle 1 then says, alternatively, you can either spend points in wits, which increases defense and hacking, or spend it in Auspex, which gives a temporary +1 wits. But Auspex is pretty useless in my opinion. So, I mean, I personally like Auspex. I do, like, compared to Celerity and Presence in combat, it's not as effective. While it does increase our, it increases our wits, which increases our combat defense, and our perception, which is going to increase our ranged combat. I do intend Lotaeri to use ranged weapons as his weapons of choice going forward. Once we're done with Santa Monica, and I probably have a 5 melee, or shortly after a 5 melee, we will be focusing on firearms, because they're much more powerful and easier for our character to use. And it makes more sense, I think, for Lotaeri to use guns than melee weapons in the end, because I don't plan on giving him a lot of soak. I'm not going to be wearing probably the heaviest armor, because that lowers our dex. We'll probably buy rank 2 clothes and leave it at that. I might not making a whole lot of sense to anyone listening to this, but trust me, I already have an idea for going forward of what Lotaeri's going to be wearing and how we're going to be playing them. And so it's going to be ranged combat for me, I'm pretty sure. Maybe even use a sniper rifle, assuming there's one of those in the game. But in any case, Auspex could be helpful with that because it increases our perception temporarily, which means we do, I think, more damage with our ranged weapons. And at the very least, increases our accuracy with them. And increasing our wits, even temporarily, along with giving us those higher other stats, can be helpful for hacking, so we don't have to put points into directly into wits or computer use. And then there's also the fact that Auspex lets us see through walls and see where enemies are located, where they're walking, which is incredibly useful. But we need at least, I think, a 2nd rank in Auspex to do that. So I'm probably going to be leveling all these skills to at least 3. And I'm thinking I would level all of them to at least, by the end of the game, to 4 for all of them. That's what I would like to do. I don't know if we'll be able to do that, but that's going to be my goal. Oh, right. So anyway, so I like Auspex because of this seeing where the enemies are through walls. This is especially important for us if we are going to be sneaking through areas, because we don't have subterfuge to make us invisible. So we're going to have to try to sneak past everything that we're seeing. Bundle 1 also says, to get to the late game with the most bang for your buck and the most explored run, you need to invest in lockpicking, speech checks, and hacking to an extent. Hope that helps. Yep, thank you, Bundle 1. Most of my characters, I think all of them that I've played in the past, my Malkavians and my single Nosferatu, I have taken high lockpicking, high persuasion. Yes, that's correct. And also high hacking on all of them. But for lottery, I wasn't thinking of increasing hacking very much. Maybe that would reach naturally 5 points. So 1 more point in wits. And maybe 1 more point in computer use. And then I'd rely on Auspex to give me additional points after that. That's the plan for him. Because I don't really view lottery as a hacker, right? I view him more like an artist. And thank you, by the way, that does help. God, it's so aggravating what to put these points in. I really want a 5. I really want a 5 melee. But that would give me only 3 points left. We could increase our security 1 point to give me all that delicious lockpicking. We'd have a lockpicking of 5 normally for the next area. If I do that. Dex and security. Or I raise my melee to 5 and take 1 point in security for lockpicking 4. I'll think about it. Bruno says, wait a moment. Have you ever seen Lottery and Tim in the same room at the same time? Oh, Bruno. Bruno, you're on to me. Alright, so let's just get this out of the way. Now that the cat's out of the bag. Everyone, Lottery and me are the same person. I am the hero known as Lottery. Not all heroes wear capes. I haven't seen a hero. I haven't seen... You know, I don't think I've seen anyone else use the spelling of my channel for any reason whatsoever either. And I'm the only Lottery in existence. And if I look up my name on, like, DuckDuckGo, because I think I pronounce my channel Lottery, which is, I think, the correct way to spell it, to pronounce it given the spelling, the search results are for the actual Lottery. That's pretty interesting to me that does that. Anyway, Bruno then says, if I remember correctly, early mid-game is not so tough on combat. Late game is mostly a chore if you don't have high damage output, so I usually ignore these stats until downtown. So, I have this odd compulsion when I play any game. And it works like this for me in real life as well. In real life, let's say that the weekend, it's Friday, and if I have stuff to do, like I need to clean the bathroom, or I have dishes that need to be done, or I have laundry that I need to work, that needs to be finished, or I have to mow the lawn and trim the hedges, or do miscellaneous stuff around the house, or I need to get something done, like food shopping has to get done, or I need to repair something in the house, or bring my car someplace. I will do these things before I have fun. I try to get all of the work done first. My chores get done first, and once all the chores are done, the rest of my free time is spent relaxing. And I view leveling characters in the same light. So to me, when it comes to Lottery, I view acquiring that 5 melee combat as a chore. The same thing with leveling my stamina, wits, and perception to rank, putting 2 points in these. I view that as a chore. I need to do that, because after that, I can have fun with the character. Now, it's still fun to play the character even if we focus on late game stats even early, but it's one of the reasons why I really want to level strength and just be done with worrying about our melee combat. So that's why I have this overwhelming urge to put that point into strength and then be done leveling melee. And anything else, maybe we level melee again much later, but that's so far down the road, I don't have to worry about it. Maybe. So that's what I'm thinking. Now, there is something else. This is a bit of metagaming, so this is a bit spoilery, but I'll mention it here. And that is that I know that when we reach downtown, we will encounter Nines Rodriguez at some point down there. I think very early on in the chapter, if not immediately upon reaching downtown. And when we meet him, he can increase our melee stat for us. He will help us learn how to defend ourselves. But I'm sorry, not melee, brawl stat. Oh, right, never mind. It's the brawl stat he helps us improve. I'm talking about melee. Okay, never mind. Right? He teaches us about unarmed combat, Tim, not melee combat. There is a book that we can find somewhere in the downtown, our downtown adventure in Chapter 2, which will increase our melee 1 point. But I think it's got to be rank 2 or 3. And we might only be able to use it if we're a girl as well. I don't remember. I think the book's name is No Means No, if I recall correctly. And it's self-defense for girls, but we might be able to get away with reading it anyway. Anyways, yeah, so that's what's going on in my head. And for me, that's why I want to focus on raising my melee to 5 right now. And it's also why if I level up to 5, we will have no issues. If I did level up to 5 when I started this video, well then you know I gave in and I really wanted that melee combat 5 so I could use our Shin Guntu or Fire Axe in that area. Because there's going to be I don't think I'm going to be successful at the sneaking, and that's going to be such a shame if I'm not. But if we're not, well, so be it. Then we slaughtered everything in that location, or a great many of those enemies anyway. In which case, I was super glad to have that melee. Alright, so Methadron, we've got a super long comment from you, so let's go ahead and start reading it. Methadron says, so I recently found your channel and watched a few videos here and there, but only now that you play one of my favorite games that I need to write a comment, so it's going to be a long one. Oh, that's perfectly fine, sir. Hello. Welcome to the comment section on my videos. I've been trying for years to have more interaction between myself and the wonderful viewers that I have. So hello. Thank you for stopping by. He says, also, I am from Germany, so I hope my English is correct and any spelling mistakes can be kept by whoever finds them. So, your English is a lot better than my German. I can speak very little German. I only know like 2 or 3 words. So, it's amazingly it's amazingly good compared to my own German. And as you can see, it's better than my English as well. So let's go ahead and keep reading. Methadron then says, so first of all, I enjoy the way you play your games, and this one especially. You are role-playing and not optimizing. Ah, thank you. I do this with most of the games I play. I tend to make what other people would consider probably not the best choices for my characters, or when I'm playing a real-time strategy for my army composition, or turn-based games, maybe I don't take the most powerful units with me, but I do it because for thematic reasons for the most part. And I'm glad that you noticed this. I think I have several people who have noticed this as well. I often get, I don't know how to describe it. It's not really criticism. People often wonder why I make the choices I make, when there's obviously better choices to be made. And the only thing I can say is that I am trying to role-play characters, especially in the role-playing games that I am playing. This is true like in Underworld, right? Where I played through Underworld with Garrett, Master Thief, and I chose some feats for him. I made him a hybrid, and he had a tough time at the end of the game, but I still won. But a lot of this was done for thematic reasons. I tried to make him exactly as if he would have been the Thief from the Thief series. And I thought it went really well overall, and I beat that game. It helps that in this game, in Vampire the Masquerade-Bloodlines, that I have beaten this game like 3 to 5 times in the past. And I know what the game's expecting me to do. And I know when I should be putting more points and focusing on combat. And so I think I could get away with a role-playing, more thematic, atmospheric vampire than focusing all in on a very specific gameplay style. We still will be doing that. Like, we're still going to be taking lots of points in guns and using guns later. But, well, that'll be later. And we're leveling seduction, for example, which normally, according to the internet, you shouldn't level seduction. You should level persuasion. And the internet is generally correct. If you want to take advantage of the game mechanics in so much that you want to pass when you're in different social situations, persuasion is the most helpful. But I want to try out seduction, and I have an idea for Lotaeri, and so we're going to stick with it. But anyway, thank you, sir. Thank you for noticing that as well. I personally, and then, so Methadron says, I personally have played through this game quite a few times, and I also played the pen and paper RPG a lot. So I've never played the paper pen RPG. I LARPed a few times. I did read the book. It was a long time ago, enough to make my own Giovanni, but that was all I did, if I recall correctly. Sorry, that's all I did. That was my only experience with the book, and I never played the pen and paper RPG. I never sat down around a table and role-played that way. It was always dressing up, live-action role-playing at college, and then I think I went to like 2 hotels and did a LARP there. It was a long time ago. 20 years ago. Anyway, I also can always check the books I have on hand if you would like that. Hold on. I skipped a sentence. This is why I ask you to excuse me rambling about all the things vampire that you are not sure about. I can also always check the books I have on hand if you would like that. Just ask in your video or shoot me a message. I'm going to watch this series as close as possible. I will try to keep this spoiler free and just explain some lore. So first of all, Methadron, thank you very much. I never want viewers to do work for me, though. Like, please don't ever feel obligated to do that. And I myself, I will never ask any viewer specifically to do something for me. I might puzzle about it on stream. I might say, for example, out loud, I wonder how this works or something. I'm not looking for an answer. Although if I get an answer, that's wonderful. But I'm not like... I'll describe it. I'm not asking for a solution as much as I am pondering if there is one, if that makes any sense. But if ever I am playing a game and any of you hear me say something incorrect, tell me, and I will correct myself in the next video when it comes to like gameplay mechanics or lore or something of that sort. I want to make sure I am as accurate as I can be when I'm playing these games. It's also why I add a lot of qualifiers before my statements. I'll say, like, I think it works this way, or I'm not sure. That's my giving myself an out in case I'm wrong. But it's mostly because I want to keep talking about it, and I think I'm right with what I'm going to say. But there's always a chance I am incorrect. So, anyway, back to your statement, Methadron. If you do hear me say something that's wrong, please correct me. I definitely don't want to say anything incorrect about the lore or the gameplay mechanics in regards to Vampire the Masquerade. And that goes for all of you. All of you as well. If you hear me say something incorrect, please correct me. And or if, on that same note, if I'm pondering something and you know the answer, by all means, feel free to tell me. I will be gratefully appreciative of that effort on your behalf. Thank you. Alright, so Methadron then continues. So let the rambling begin. The older edition, called Vampire the Masquerade, is still played by a lot of people, even though they made a new edition with new rules and basically a new world. I tried it and did not enjoy it, but that may take another try. Yeah, I can understand that. So I myself have played Dungeons & Dragons for many years, and I don't like any of the recent editions, and by recent I mean anything made within like the past 20 years. I play 2nd edition Dungeons & Dragons when I play Dungeons & Dragons, and I have made my own world. I heavily modified the rules. I made my own character classes, made my own equipment. The general idea for me is I liked some of the baseline that game provided, and then I went in my own direction from there, fixing a lot of what I thought was wrong when I roleplayed the game. All my players have said that they have really loved my world, my rules, and when I'm the DM, and that's always very humbling and touching to me when they say this. But it also means I'm quite dead set in my beliefs, and I like what I've done. I don't really like a lot of the new content that they've released over the past like 2 decades. I especially didn't like to move it from 2nd edition to 3rd edition because, oh my goodness, they changed just about everything. I couldn't balance an encounter to save my life at that point. I had a really good understanding of the old 2nd edition rules and what my players could handle and what they couldn't. But in any case, so I understand that. Like, the new edition of this game came out, you're like, I don't like it very much, but maybe it's just your initial reaction to it. Maybe you gotta try it again, or a few times before you see if you like it or not. And that's my attitude as well in video games. Often I'll play a video game and maybe there's something about it I don't initially like, but I'll keep playing it anyway to see if maybe I will like it. Sometimes I can tell I won't, but other times something that I might have hated initially, I begin liking the more I do play it. An example of this is Dark Souls. When I originally played Dark Souls, I hated the game. I was dying so often in that game. And I don't mind dying in a game over and over again, but it removed me from the immersion of that world because I kept dying. And after like your 20th time dying to the bull demon, you begin not viewing the game as a world that you're adventuring in, but a series of gameplay mechanics and decisions that you are trying to master. And I tend not to like games that require me to think of them in that way. But I love Dark Souls, and I actually I played through it on my channel. So how about that? When I sat back down and played it again. So Methron says vampires can contract diseases, but do not suffer from the symptoms. They can also inflict these diseases onto humans that they feed on. If I recall correctly, the vampires can contract any disease, but most do not survive inside the vampire body. So I guess many of our bodily functions shut down, I suppose. So we're I think, but you say a little bit later on that, like, we don't have a pulse. So we are, in fact, a corpse. So I'm imagining, like, if you were to take our, like, obviously we don't have a pulse. If you were to take our pulse, are we, like, super cold as well? Like, do we not have the ability to, like, regulate our temperature? Also, does our liver shut down so, like, we can't process certain foods or drinks any longer? Can we even eat or drink? I wonder. I don't think we can, right? Like, our stomach doesn't work anymore, but maybe we can? We just have to use blood for a little bit? I don't remember. But when it comes to diseases, we will find out more about the diseases, if I recall correctly, in the next chapter. I think some of this will be explained to us. Methadron then says, you had a few things about how these vampires work lore-wise, and a few things have already been addressed. So please excuse me if I repeat another comment. Oh, absolutely, sir, don't worry about it. I did not read all the other comments from all the other videos. That's fine. I'm not expecting people to do that. I get lots of comments, and I do a lot of talking. So vampires do not have a pulse, and are basically an animated corpse. Alright. Okay. I couldn't remember that for some reason. I wasn't sure if it was just like some sort of weird condition that we have, but we do still have a pulse, and our heart's still beating, or if we're actually dead. So yes, we are indeed clinically dead. We have no pulse. No breathing or any other natural movement necessary for, and older vampires do not move without purpose. They do not even blink or move their limbs at all. They basically look like a pale corpse. Interesting. That'd be so weird not breathing. I guess you don't... Wow, you don't have to even blink. That's so weird. That's so uncanny, too. Does it matter how much humanity you have? I wonder if the more humanity that you have as one of these vampires, if the more like a human you will continue to act. But vampires have a nice trick for this, is what Methadon says. They can use blood to simulate a normal human body for that night. If they do this, they can breathe, have a natural skin color, and can even have sex, as you have experienced. But sex is frowned upon, and is often viewed as unnecessary waste of time and blood. But some vampires like being close to humans, and a few even still enjoy sex. It's just very different, and not as exciting as other things are for a vampire. Right. I mean, I'm guessing, like, God, it's so awkward to talk about, but, like, we don't produce, like, we're a guy vampire. We don't produce sperm. And a girl vampire doesn't have eggs that function in her body any longer, is my guess as how that works, for example. So there's no instinctive desire for it. And the pleasure involved from it due to the feelings is not something we need either, right? We get the pleasure from drinking blood now, as opposed to other forms of entertainment. Do drugs still work on us? Like, can we get high? If we take, like, you know, cocaine or something? Well, we don't... How would that even work? I don't know. But I guess it also views as waste. Why spend our blood pool to experience that when we don't need it and it's any longer? The blood itself is our drug now. Vampires, and then, sorry, Methadon then says, vampires can technically... Oh, you did say right here. Vampires can technically get high and drunk when feeding on a human that is high or drunk. This is also very frowned upon by the classic high-class vampires, but there are very different views depending on clan and sire mostly. Okay, gotcha. Oh, okay, so we can't do that ourselves, but we do that when we feed on someone who is experiencing those things. That's interesting. Now to ghouls. This has been covered a bit, but I just want to get this out. The vampire blood causes a magical effect called a blood bond. If I remember correctly, and I'm working from the German books by the way, this causes anyone who drinks a vampire's blood to like that vampire. With humans, they need to drink regularly, as said about once a month, to stay at that level of blood bond. Blood bond has 3 levels. Oh, this is interesting. I didn't realize there were different ranks of this. On the first level, it is like the vampire is an old friend you just met after years and hit it off where you had left it off. On the second level, the vampire becomes your best friend that you still know from childhood, basically. That explains the girl's attitude toward us when we had saved her, doesn't it? What else is there? On the third level, you are completely I can't pronounce this. In love with the vampire and will do anything for him, her, when they tell you. This works also on other supernatural beings, even vampires. With other vampires, it doesn't run out, as vampires do not have a natural blood circulation. So if you get another vampire to drink your blood, they are on that blood bond level permanently. I think there are ways out of it without killing anyone, but I'm not sure about that. Oh, that's so interesting. It seems like there's a lot of subterfuge and manipulation in the vampire world. I remember the World of Darkness had a great deal of that. Different political posturing among the clans amongst each other. I'm guessing that it's not... Does it happen very often that a vampire will willingly drink the blood of another in order to have this blood bond with that vampire when they know that they could... their feelings could be taken advantage of after that? I'm sure there are some. I don't know if I would take that risk. That's interesting, though. Thank you for that, Methodron. I didn't realize it worked that way. For your abilities and points, in the RPG, the average human is a 2 in any given attribute. Basically, 2 is the human average for attributes. For skills, it's just how trained you are. 0 is untrained. 5 is a genius. That is the top of said skill. Yeah, so that's what... I think I was talking about that in the last episode as well. Like, a part of me, whenever I start playing this game, always wants to cheat and just give me 2 points in all of these stats, because I feel like I really should have 2 points in all of these, and not just a 1 in something. But I understand why they did it from a gameplay perspective. So, 2, so basically we're even weaker than the standard human, but maybe this makes sense given our condition. So we're even weaker than we had been in real life. We aren't as smart when it comes to purchases. We're still getting used to our eyesight here as a vampire, and we have brain fog, which is why our wits are only 1. And the rest of these are just normal. Okay, I gotcha. So, untrained is 0, and an expert at the field is a 5. Methodron then says, for choosing not to lie to the bartender, I see this as a smart move. The bartender works directly for a powerful vampire. You should not play with other vampires' toys, and you should be polite to their human servants. Who knows how the vampire reacts to your scaring their employees? Yeah, I thought of that as well, but only very briefly. My attitude was mostly like, if he believes me, and so I guess I'll do a little bit of not truth telling, metagaming here. I know that generally, whenever a persuasion check comes up, and you choose that persuasion check in this game, that many of them get you past a part in the game, and allow you to proceed onward without having to fight something or perform some other task. They let you see different areas and experience other aspects of the game that would normally be locked off to you, or give you the chance to get further in the conversation, as we saw with Vandal, for example, where the persuasion check let us get further with them to convince them that we should still be allowed to buy blood, or when we were trying to get into the back room, have them unlock the door, but we still had to choose the right choice. In that instance with the bartender, I know that if we chose that as our answer, that the bartender believes us and tells us to tell Therese that he's quitting. And I felt like, I know this happens in the back of my head. I know this lets us get upstairs, but I'm not going to choose that because, number one, I don't want to lie to this guy. Number two, if he does believe me, and that is his reaction, I'm going to feel bad for that guy out on the street. And so I felt like, no, even though we can take that persuasion check, I'm going to roleplay this, and we're going to try to see if he can let us upstairs without me having to use my persuasion to get us up there. And it worked, right? So that worked out for everyone involved. He didn't kill us. Therese was happy to see us, and the guy gets to keep his job, and everything worked out well. Let's see. He then says, when you killed a few of those gangsters on the beach, I remember Jack telling you about self-preservation as a part of humanity. Just make sure those guys will not attack Mercurio or another one of your allies again without just killing them all. So this might have been Lotaeri's first time acting like this, but he is learning that he is not human anymore, even if he has a high humanity. Jack told you that you are now a wolf among sheep. Yep. And it's also one of the reasons why I didn't kill all of them in there. I could have, right? We could have run around there. So let's get this out of the way too then. So I know that if I killed all of those guys, that there are like these stereos there. We could take them and sell them and get even more money. And we get more bullets from them. We can get some more baseball bats. We can go back and forth between the beach and trip downstairs and sell all that for even more cash. But, well, I want to roleplay Lotaeri and not give in to my gamer instincts to do that sort of thing. And so my idea was that we get into the place, we get the astrolite. We don't kill all the people there because while they're thugs and they beat up Mercurio, we heard that they did it exactly for the reason Mercurio had suspected. They just wanted his money. They didn't want to give him the astrolite. So I didn't feel as guilty killing that one guy who walked on the back on the power. And we killed the leader because I believe he was responsible for this. The rest of them get to live. And hopefully they learn, after seeing that two of them are dead, that one guy who was talking about the fact that they should have killed Mercurio, he was right, and now they run for their lives, knowing that, or thinking that somebody else is going to kill the rest of them. Hopefully they got the warning shot fired across their brow is enough that they got the heck out of there. And because I really don't want Lotaeri to kill every single person who is in when we're in a combat zone, if I can help it. Methodon then says, you are correct in calling the ancient vampires the Kuei-Jin. This is what they call themselves. I will not tell more about them, as I am not really sure about their lore, and they were never a big part in the games I played. Yeah, they weren't a part of the games I played either when I did that little bit of LARPing a long time ago. I say a little bit because it was maybe like over a period of like 6 months. I played maybe a total of like 8 or 9 games, if I recall correctly. And so I was trying to remember their name from this game, and I think did we read it? I don't think we read their name yet. So I was trying to remember what they were called. Because I have, as you know, I've beaten this game a few times. And so we will be encountering them more often as we go forward. Methodron then says, generations have been covered very well in other comments. I will keep that to myself. This has been a very long for a single comment. I can understand if you do not read this whole comment out. Well, I like reading the whole comments out. I'm doing that for this series, and I want to be fair to everyone. So leave as long as a comment as you like. I will try my best to read all of it and respond to all of it. I'm sorry it's taking me so long to get through this. I like trying to share some of my experiences so you guys can understand where I'm coming from in regards to my replies to your comments. Bail bonds are a thing I looked up a bit. Basically, the judge sets a bail for you to pay, and the bail bond business pays that for you, and you pay them back with interest. Also, you have a court dates that they want you to meet and so on. All other things about this I do not know. We do not have that system here in Germany, as far as I know. But there are videos on YouTube about this stuff, so anyone interested can just look those up. Yeah, I'm not that familiar with it myself. Thankfully, I've never been in prison. I've never had to bail anyone out of prison. My whole family keeps their nose clean, for the most part. I'll just leave it as that. I'll just leave it at that. So I've never had to worry about the criminal system here in America myself. So I don't really understand bail bonds too well. My brief understanding of it is that you are in jail, but if the bond is paid, you are allowed to leave jail, and basically you have to say where you are. You have to report to the courthouse when you are summoned for your hearings and for any other things that they want you there for. And the bond amount is set based, so either you might be denied bail, But if you're given it, the amount of it is determined by how... Do we think this guy's going to run? Yes. Should he still get a bail bond? Maybe. Let's go with yes. Then it's going to be set to a very high amount. Otherwise, like something small, maybe your bail bond's like $1,000 or something like that. And instead of waiting around jail for like a month, you're free to go home and live your life. Just report to the courthouse when they want you there for your hearings or whatever's going to happen. So I guess I've covered everything that popped up and that I noted in my little notebook here. Hey, I keep my notebooks. I don't have a webcam, or I'd rather have a webcam, but I don't use a webcam when I record generally. But I keep all sorts of notes in my notebooks also. Good to see another notebook user here. So if you do not want to read this comment completely, I'm fine with that. Nope, I'm reading it completely. I'm going to watch this series especially, and I think with this game you have won a regular viewer, maybe even commenter. Hey, welcome Metrodon. Thank you very much for showing up. And as I said, I can always reference the books if any questions come up. Nope, don't feel obligated to do that. I'll never ask a viewer to go and look something up for me. That's just too weird. Greetings from Germany. Oh, hello. Greetings from America. Right back at you. Edit. Regarding your question about the claims and the commercials, I do not mind the commercials, but I really do not like YouTube's system for handling these claims. But you should not put so much more work into this because of these commercials. For me, I would like you to do what you can, and if something gets claimed, just tell us what got claimed. Just like you did with this video. This way, maybe others can learn a little bit more about this whole copyright claim stuff. I never thought that there could be a claim on something like a thunder, so I learned that. Yeah, so someone might have, like, a small clip of, like, some background sound effect that they used in, like, a song or some movie or something, and... maybe this game used it. I don't think it did, or maybe the bots thought it sounded like it. And so what happens is that all these bots are run on things are checked when you upload a video amongst all these types of like different bots. I don't know a better way to describe it than that. And they're looking to see if any of the content you uploaded matches anything that these bots are looking for. And if it does, they'll right then and there. This is especially true when your video first goes up, because you get the most views and the most interaction with that video when the video first is on your channel. Maybe like a day or two later, and then like after like about a month, there's no one really probably watching that content any longer. I'm kind of lucky because generally I'm a really small YouTuber, but and I've got a lot of content up here on my channel. And so, generally when someone new finds me, now they're interested in watching maybe other things that I've played that they're also interested in watching. So, some of my old videos still get views on them, even today. But generally, it's always the first stuff that gets the most. And so that's why especially like the newest videos will get claims and copyright claims on them, more than any of the old ones will. In any case, my biggest concern about copyright claims is this. One day, I fully think that something I upload will cause my channel to be copyright struck. When that happens, my channel could disappear, and no one will know that that happened. And so that's the only reason why, like, even with the past, a video I just uploaded to my Jupiter Hell playlist, this happened. Not copyright struck, copyright claimed. And obviously we had one here now in Vampire the Masquerade-Bloodlines as well. And the reason why I wanted to talk about it a bit more is because if my video goes away, no one's going to know. And so, if ever you don't see a video from me, and it's been like more than a month, something horrific has happened to me, or my channel is no longer in existence. So, that's it. I've got nothing I can do about either of those things when they happen. So, hopefully neither of those occur. It just occurs to me I haven't actually been to the emergency room this year yet, and that's a first. I don't want to jinx it, so we're not going to talk about this anymore. Alright, so thank you guys very much for all those comments. We may get a few more, in which case there'll be a little more to the end of this video here, but if not, if this was the last one, then thank you guys for watching what you did, and in which case this video is going to end right here. Otherwise, there's still more of this video because I got a few more comments and I'm going to read them. So, thank you for watching what you did, and if this is the end, take care, and if not, I'll see you in a few more seconds.